Hello, and thank you for joining us. Now, as we continue on this series, Trump over the Narcissist, we're going to talk about the different types and styles of narcissism. The goal here is for you to identify the type of narcissist you are dealing with so you can discover and understand the mind and process of the narcissist so you can finally escape from the emotional and psychological abuse that comes from that toxic relationship and recover in style. So again, I hope you have your pens and paper ready, or of course, you are welcome to do some screenshots. So if you need to go back to it in the future to refresh, you can do so. So, narcissist. When you say the word narcissist, most people immediately picture an outgoing, extroverted person who appears extremely self-confident and immediately takes the center stage in everything, in every gathering. Now, while this is a brief description of the behavior of a typical exhibitionist narcissist who is feeling grandiose, it leaves out many others who also have this type of narcissistic disorders. So in this video, we're going to talk about the three main types of narcissistic personality disorders. The exhibitionist narcissist, who wants to be admired. The closet narcissist, who want to be associated with somebody that they admire. And the toxic narcissist, who want to dominate and make others feel worthless. So what we're going to do, we're going to talk about the exhibitionist narcissist a little bit. Now, this is a group of people who come to mind when we hear the word narcissist. They like to be the center of admiring attention. They tend to dominate the conversation. They feel entitled to special treatment. They act supremely confident, telling stories and giving advice. But when they feel insecure, they use what is called the God defense. God equaling grandiose, omnipotent, and devaluing. These are the three things they are prone to do. Now, with the God defense, it is my shorthand way of describing the defensive, unrealistic, perfect facade that the exhibitionist narcissists attempt to construct to hide their own self-doubt. Now, instead of presenting themselves as normal human beings with assorted talents and flaws, they insist that they are special, perfect, they know everything and they're always right. They also expect everyone around them to agree with their point of view, because in their minds they are above, and everyone except maybe a select few may be below them. Now, to go a little bit further in this, now because this arrogant posture is a thin, easily pierced facade, and not only they feel disrupted if things do not go their way, the exhibitionist narcissists, they are very hypersensitive, even to the slightest flaw. And they are quick to get angry and ready to fight over things that most people don't even notice. They can be very cruel because of their lack of emotional compassion for the people. Now, when they're not bragging about their own accomplishments or telling stories in which they play a heroic or a starring role, they're busy devaluing anyone who disagrees with them. They may cruelly mock someone who is within hearing distance, and they may say, "Boy, he or she looks fat in that outfit," or "I can't believe how stupid this waiter is." So they say things in earshot of other people. They tend to be oblivious to other people's real reactions to their attitudes and their behavior. They are also blinded by their own defense, that they assume that everyone else agrees with them or thinks that what they're saying is amusing. And if you go against what they believe, you are considered the enemy. Now, for the basic exhibitionist narcissist in a relationship setting or style, They tend to be very insensitive and bossy. They expect whomever they are with to admire and to agree with them about everything. As stated before, disagreement is seen as criticism and is met with evaluation. They need continual reassurance that they are special, perfect, and always right. The next one we're going to talk about is the closet narcissist. Now, unlike the exhibitionist narcissist, the closet narcissist, they are uncomfortable with the spotlight being directly on them. They want to be special, but they are conflicted. They have been usually trained since childhood that they will be attacked if they openly display themselves for admiration. They often have had exhibitionist, narcissistic parents who devalue them because he or she saw them as competition. And they were only rewarded with praise for admiring their narcissistic parents, who happens to be exhibitionist. Their only narcissistic grandiosity was squashed or was deeply buried in their personality growing up. So they had no way of creating an outlet, or they had no way or permission to speak openly about how they were feeling. So in general, the closet narcissists tend to be more insecure than the exhibitionist narcissist. They feel too exposed and vulnerable to enjoy being the center of admiring attention. They are afraid that people will see their flaws and attack and devalue them in a way that their parents did as children. Instead, they find ways to attach themselves to people, to causes, to religion, and other things that they admire and consider special. And they feel special when they attend these associations or hang out with these people or places or things. Now, instead of being openly demanding, closet narcissists sometimes try to manipulate the situation to get what they want indirectly. They may play the victim and use your pity to persuade you to get what they want. And they often pretend to be much nicer than they really feel on the inside. Now, many people with closet narcissistic personality disorder, they allow themselves to be used by their more confident exhibitionist friends or co-workers. They live for the praise that they hope to receive by working hard for the cause or the religion or the groups that they admire. Now, there's a song in a movie called Beaches, and I believe the song is called Wind Beneath My Wings, and that beautifully describes the type of appreciation that most closet narcissists dream about getting from people that they idealize. Now, in the relationship style associated with the closet narcissist, they choose someone that they can idealize as perfect and special. They bask in this person's reflective glory. They imagine the sum of the specialness or the perfection that they see in them will rub off on them. They treasure the small bits of approval that they can get from whomever they idealize. And they often form relationships with exhibitionist narcissists because they mistake their defensive grandiosity for true confidence. The closet narcissists are more likely to devalue themselves than other people. They are always apologizing. If they do devalue other people, it is likely to be done behind their back, or it will take a form of cold withdrawing. They are more likely to openly express envy than to publicly insult or berate another person. The next main topic of discussion is the toxic and or malignant narcissist. Toxic narcissists, they are the mean one in the narcissistic group. They are the meanies. They are not satisfied by being the center of attention. They want complete dominance and others to submit. They usually have a sadistic streak and enjoy hurting other people. They want you to obey and to fear them. They are angry and bitter because they have not been able to live up to their own unrealistic fantasies of limitless achievement. They envy anyone who has what they want. They have given up being a constructive force in the world and now mainly intent on derailing other people's happiness. Their poisonous intent is very obvious when they present in a overt form or fashion, such as the classroom bully who terrorizes the weakest kid, or the boss at work that likes to angrily devalue a person in front of the whole office by saying, "You screwed up again," or "You are an idiot," or "Did you decide to get yourself fired today to get on unemployment because you're too lazy to work?" These are the devaluing and hurtful things that toxic and malignant individuals will say. And in a toxic and malignant relationship, in terms of their style, their goal is to establish themselves as better than you and make you feel inferior and inadequate. Life with them is one long put down. You can never please them. They will never praise you. Any self-confidence that you enter into the relationship with them is likely to be eroded and replaced with self-doubt. Now, we just went over 3 dominant types of narcissism: the exhibitionist narcissist, the closet narcissist, and the toxic malignant narcissist. Now take a moment to determine which dominant type of narcissism are you facing today. Now in the next video, part 2, we're going to talk about different subtypes and styles of narcissism. Until we meet again, be productive, be joyful, and love yourself on purpose.